going to be replacing the front CV axle today, and I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video. It's pretty straightforward, but there are a couple tricks. Now, go ahead and remove your hub assembly. So my worn hub is already removed. There's going to be some 6mm Allen wrench type hex head screws on a stock hub, and you want to make sure you take this retaining ring off. Once you have the hub assembly off and the retaining ring removed from the slot in the axle, you can see you're going to have some in play on that axle shaft. So that's all that holds the axle shaft in on the wheel side. So everything else is going to be further inboard connecting to the differential. So just for context, I'm going to go ahead and slowly move the camera underneath the vehicle. Behind the tire, you can see the lower control arm right there, and you can see right between the upper and lower control arms there's that axle shaft, and you can see the CV boot. So if you go further in where your torsion bar is, slide forward and look up, you're going to see a bunch of screws or bolts that hold that flange onto the differential. So you can see the flange on the other end of the CV axle here, and there's going to be 3 groups of 2 bolts each, and it's a 12mm hex head bolt. Now with the hub off, you start to see the problem, which is that you end up just spinning the axle in place when you try and put a wrench on it. And really, you only have access to the bolts that are kind of on the lower half, because there's always going to be one group that's a little bit more difficult to get to on the top side. So what you end up having to do is remove a hub, rotate the axle to where you have access to the bolts, and then you got to put the hub back on so that way it locks in with the tire, and that way it'll hold the axle still without moving. So I actually had one bolt that was just barely loose enough to go ahead and start removing. But you can see how this can be a little bit tedious just to get the hardware out. Nice ratcheting box end wrench like this makes it quite a bit easier than having to do partial turns and then realign your wrench every time. Now if you have the right tools, like a cordless impact wrench with a wobble extension that allows a 12mm socket to go at off angles, you can actually remove these bolts a lot quicker, even with the tire still on the vehicle. Set the bolts aside, and I used blue Loctite on these the last time I swapped it out, and I'm going to reuse the blue Loctite again on reassembly. So now that you have all the hardware removed, you're basically at the point where you got to figure out how to get this out of here between the suspension arms. This is made even more difficult with the suspension lift because your lower control arm is drooped down pretty low, and that's going to block the actual CV axle on the hub side from being able to be removed smoothly. So you can see here, there's not really any good way to be able to remove this axle in place. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the front tire and go ahead and raise the vehicle up and put it on jack stands just so I have some more space to get at the axle. But I'm probably going to have to pop the upper ball joint to be able to actually get the CV axle out past the control arms. Now, of course, I have my suspension fully drooped because it's raised up, so I am going to lower the jack and let the lower ball joint sit onto this platform. That's just a jack that I've modified. But what I'm going to try and do is basically put the vehicle weight back onto the suspension, which will flex it upward some, which should give me a little bit more space. So this is still about as far as I can get this axle back out of here, and it's still rubbing on the bottom of that lower control arm. So I'm going to have to take off the junction at the upper ball joint to the spindle to be able to rotate the disc assembly outwards, and then pop and rotate the upper control arm out of the way. So if you can see through all the grease and dirt right here, there's a cotter pin that you have to remove. It's a little bit difficult, but you're going to need some type of fine punch to get through the loop, some needle nose pliers, and you're going to have to try and pinch it. And I like the pinch and twist method, but usually within a few minutes you can get it removed, and that'll free up the nut to be removed. I use a 3/4 inch box end or open end wrench, and you can usually get to the castle nut pretty easily. And once you break it free, it doesn't take too long to spin it off. Now there's a couple methods of popping the ball joint loose. You can try just hitting the side of the spindle on the cast iron part that the hub is attached to. You can try just tapping on it with a hammer. Sometimes that'll pop the joint loose. You might need a pickle fork or a ball joint separator. You can rent these at AutoZone if you don't have one. You want to try not to damage the rubber, but that's not always possible. And you just want to keep hammering it in with a pretty heavy hammer like a 3-pound sledge. And eventually that's going to pop the joint loose. Now you can rotate this guy out. Well, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and take the tie rod off here because I'm going to have to rotate the whole hub assembly outboard of the vehicle. This is another similar junction. You just have a cotter pin that you need to remove the nut, then you got to pop the ball joint out. There's my tie rod, upper control arm. We can try and rotate this out. Alright, I just barely got enough to go on the back side of the flange and drop it down. I'm going to move the camera so you can actually see. And that's how you have to get a CV axle out. It's a bit of a pain with the independent front suspension. You got to take some parts apart. But if you got to do the CV axle, it's probably a good time to go ahead and do upper ball joints if you got the lift control arms, or go ahead and do your tie rod adjusters and tie rod ends. So installation is just going to be reverse of removal, but it is a little bit difficult snaking it out between all the suspension components. If you have better ideas or better techniques as far as how to maneuver and get the axle through here, let me know. I'm curious. I've only done this once before and this was the only thing that I could figure out how to make it work.